welcome back to Alphablocked. Got some good stuff here at the beginning of this episode. Solving one problem and solving a skill. First up, a problem that we've faced before, and now we don't need to worry about it ever again. Because we're going to have anti-poisons. Technically, I could purchase anti-venoms and just skip this entirely. But it's probably fine to just have regular anti-poisons. Even in situations where I might want better anti-poisons, that's a long ways off. So, just to give myself some regular anti-poisons solves most of my problems there. And I have not reorganized the bank yet. I will do that in a bit. This was last round. New round, starting with anti-poison. And now, re-unlocking a skill. Over here, at the Hosidius ranges, I'm going to make use of my maxed Hosidius favor to do a bit of cooking. And unlock our next item, burnt fish. We don't have cooking gauntlets, and we're not going to have them for quite some time. But at least we have this range, so that's a little bit of a bonus, I suppose. I'm probably only going to cook the trout right now, since eventually we're going to be doing more fishing here and get more trout, and then cooking the trout first so we burn less salmon. Overall, it's just going to be more cooking experience. So, that is the plan. We've got trout to cook. And burn. Probably burning quite a few. That's okay. All the trout have been cooked. Well, except for the ones that burnt, but still. We're still a few levels off of where we would stop burning salmon here. So we're going to keep these nice and raw in our bank for the time being. That cooking got us to level 51. So that's a very good start. This next item, starting with C, will complete a quest for us. If we talk to the apothecary here, we can get him to make us... Can we? You have to talk about something else. Okay, that's fine. I need him to make me a potion. What I needed to ask is not about potions, for him to make me the... Wait for it. Cadaver potion. And that is all we need to finish up Romeo and Juliet. But first, we're going to make a nice, fancy bank placeholder of the cadaver potion. Just what you want to have. Now all we need to do is run up here, talk to Juliet, give her the potion. And then we have a little bit of a conversation here. Philippa is not a good actor at all. But it's good enough to fool Juliet's father. So, it's okay. Let me just have a chat to Romeo. And we head to the crypts. Juliet is right over here. Probably not dead. Although Romeo is none the wiser. Just probably. Come on now. You can do it. Spoiler alert, he can't do it. He is immediately distracted. And that is quest complete. For a very nice 5 quest points. That is a very nice boost. Quest points have always been a little bit wonky. But that's okay. We will do. And now we can continue on to D. We completed one quest, so why not start another? It's Black Knight's Fortress. This is one we were putting off for a while, because starting the quest hands us an item. The Dozier. Now, if we look at this, it'll blow up in our face. So I want to get it bank placeholdered before then. Quickly hop in here. Bank placeholder. Dozier. Infiltrate fortress, sabotage secret weapon, self-destruct in 1 explosion. That's all the information you need to make progress in Black Knight's Fortress. Now, we can't actually get inside Black Knight's Fortress because we are still lacking the bronze medium helmet. But besides that, everything's fine. Of course. Now we're going to grab a few things here in the Grand Exchange. I'm trying to sell these arrow shafts. Doesn't seem to be happening. Someday we'll get 23,000 coins for this. Maybe. First up, making a purchase just for future usage. More law runes. Always good to have. All these teleporting around. Good to have. For the E item this round, we're getting egg. Just a regular egg. Apparently you can buy 13,000 of these every 4 hours or something. So that's a lot. This bad boy will be used in Cook's Assistant. Very nice. Very good to have. And while we're here, starting with F, it's fire runes. Now, we have a fire staff, so fire runes are not as useful as they could be. But there's still instances where we need the actual runes, so those are gonna be in here. Very good. And now, finishing another quest. Oh boy, there's that skull I was looking for. We've got the ghost skull. Here's a skeleton. Luckily, we are doing Restless Ghost at combat level 78. So he doesn't pose much of a threat to us. Also, we can take these bones. That's unlocked. Alright. With this ghost skull, technically it's the skull from the body that's now a ghost, not actually a skull of a ghost. I'm gonna go make a placeholder. Back to what we were doing. With the ghost skull, we just need to run over here, and we can complete Restless Ghost. We didn't bring the Ghost Speak amulet, so when we place this in, he can still talk to us. That's a slight oversight. Not a huge deal. It's just a cutscene. So apparently, there are not two different cutscenes depending on whether or not you have the Ghost Speak amulet with you. Interesting. We were rewarded with 1125 prayer XP and a Ghost Speak amulet. Except we already have that from earlier in the quest. The prayer XP is nice though. That gets us to level 26. We were like 24 earlier. Now we can use Protect Item and Hawkeye. That's progress. That's progress. And more quest points too. 23. Slowly but surely working our way through all these quests. Getting all sorts of stuff done. And speaking of getting things done, for our H item this time, this is it. The final piece. Ham logo. Expensive. Why so expensive? There it is. Ham logo. No stats. If we place that in the bank, we've got all 7 items of the ham set. So that opens up any possibility we want for the ham quests. And we can purchase the extra pieces we need for the other sets of ham. All around, ham is done. Next up, mining. Only tin and copper. Not a great plan. As much as we got to level 32, that's not really sustainable. So we're going to unlock another iron item, but this time it's the ore. Iron ore. $47 coins. Very cool. Also, gives us another option for training smithing. Eventually. We're still only level 1, but it's in the works. But now we could mine iron, smelt into bars, smith those bars into chain bodies, axes, or knives. But obviously knives would be the correct choice. But that still is hinging on us having at least 15 smithing. But we're going to jump straight past that. So that is the letter I. And the final thing here before we continue on to other locations. Starting with J. We're going to get jute seed. Not the most useful, But it's required for an achievement diary, so it's something. J. There you go. Do I want to wear the ham outfit? Why not? Why not? We're going to take our spade, multi-purpose as it is, and go get an item that starts with K. Using our handy-dandy spade, we can search this compost heap and receive key. It's just called key. If you examine it, it tells you what quest it's for, which was a nice addition. A slightly smelly key. That checks out. That checks out. We can use this to open the door right there in Drainer Manor. But not right now, because we have to pick up a thing in there, and we can't have things that we haven't unlocked yet. But it does unlock the ability to unlock that item, so that's progress. For our next item, we're heading north. These statues could really do with a touch-up. Crumbling away from old age, hardly recognizable. This one's better, but still. We're heading in here, past these significantly nicer statues, into Keldagrim. Not that one. The other dwarf with a boat here. At least it's free. Ah, now we gotta run over here. Inconvenient, but okay. Not that one. That's a dwarf. Dwarven boatman. Hello. I would like to sail to Keldagrim. Well, thank you very much. Let's go. This will start us on the giant dwarf. It's got a big, fancy opening cutscene, which doesn't happen, like, ever for any other quest. It's got text on the screen instead of in the chat box. It's gonna do some panning shots. It's all very high-tech as far as quest cutscenes are concerned. The red text on the red floor and all the things moving around is a little bit but it's okay. It's a thought that counts. We get some panning shots across the city. Look at that. Very cool. Here's the boat that we're riding on, except it's already here. Go through the bridge, I guess. Rise of the Red Axe, Part 1. Through the Consortium. Let's see what the statue looks like this time. Yeah, it's looking good. Off and on, this statue has been horribly broken for this intro cutscene. Missing parts, pieces floating. Looks nice. Or at least it will look nice for the next few seconds. Until catastrophe. Oh no. Destroyed. Well, it looked nice in the cutscene, so I guess that's what counts. And now we're being arrested. Inconvenient. Very inconvenient. This whole cinematic intro to this quest and this whole area. And that brings us over here to the Black Guard. talk to Commander Veldeben, where I agree to do this quest that we already started. And now we have access to Keldagrim, as much as that's worth. We just need to do a few steps of this quest to get our next item. First thing you need to do, this series could be sort of a quest guide, but the worst quest guide ever, split over multiple episodes and you don't know what episode it's going to be in. So, wouldn't recommend it. We need to have a chat to Blazadar, who is currently sitting inside of the model here. Okay. No, he's out here. Everything's fine. We tell him that we can help. We keep getting the option to say that we can't be bothered, but that's obviously not going to progress the quest in any way, shape, or form, so now we have options. Boots, clothes, or axe. We can do any of these in any order we want, which is convenient because that opens us the option to get a whole bunch of different items right now. Let's look into the boots. Way back on the other side of the city, back close to where we started here, we just need to have a chat with Sarah about some special boots. He tells us that they've already been sold, so we're just gonna go have a chat with Drummond. See if he would be willing to give us these boots. I would like to have some boots. But he has the boots on display tables, and we can't have them. And there's nothing I can do to get these boots, except just kind of like take them. Who are you talking to? Yoink. It's left boot, and it's now mine. We will return for right boot, but not at this time. Luckily, he seems to have an infinite supply of left boot. Good for him. Good for him. And now, back to the Grand Exchange. Our next item, while technically a training method that might be better than what we already have unlocked, we're probably going to avoid it. More useful for quests and experience in other skills. It's the Maple Log. A very cheap fire-making training option. Potentially useful for fletching later. But overall, a good item to have. Unlocked. Next item is useful for another training method. Not that we have it unlocked yet, and not that I've really confirmed what I'm going to be doing to get to this level. But we're going to get ourselves a nature tiara. We may or may not unlock the abyss. Depends how things go. But overall, a bit of a lack of things starting with N that I really need right now. So having a nature tiara could be useful for us. Worst case scenario, we just have to run back and forth making nature runes for a little bit of runecrafting XP. But we're still only level 20, so that's a whole another thing right there. With that out of the way, we can empty our inventory, because we have a new, very good training method to unlock. With our knives, well, one knife, and our pile of oak logs, we're going to unlock the oak longbow, unstrung. 25 fletching XP, and changes the oak logs from a value of 46 to a value of 26. Still a loss. Less loss than the arrow shafts, which don't seem to be selling whatsoever. And we might keep these around for... Oh, what was that? What was that? Sold. We sold some. We literally just said that the arrow shafts aren't selling whatsoever, and then 3,000 sell. What do you know about that? But yep. Oak longbows U. Not sure what level we're going to be aiming for here in fletching. But we have a lot of oak logs, and they're not going to be useful for fire making now that we have maple logs. So we have a few options. It's probably mostly going to be unstrung bows for us, I would say. So we could get up to like 55 for maple longbows. Maybe we'll unlock willow. I don't know. We'll probably get to at least 40 here. That's a decent ways into fletching. And with oak longbows U, I feel like we can say that fletching is fully unlocked. It's not great experience, and it's like 1 GP per XP or something. But it's viable, I'd say. Not great, but a lot of things we do here are not great, so. If nothing else comes up, we can get our fletching to whatever with this. But I'm pretty sure we're going to have more options. It should be fine. So I'm going to relax for a bit, making some oak longbows U. The oak longbows, unstrung, of course, got us up to level 40 fletching. Whether or not we end up unlocking willow longbows for more training, still up in the air. But what isn't up in the air is in this cupboard. It's our next item. Portrait. This gets us another step closer to finishing Knight's Sword. So I'm going to make a placeholder in the bank and then show this to Thurgo. Hey, Thurgo. About that sword, here's a picture. Everything is sorted out. We just need to go down into this dungeon and mine some blurite. Of course, we can't do that. So instead, we're gonna do something else. And that something else, in this instance, is going to be explaining for the umpteenth time that we can't get anything that starts with Q. Queen's Secateurs, Quick Lime, Quest Point Cape, Quest Point Hood. Still not available. So, we need to continue on to R. And another quest item. Said Verdor, I've got you an air talisman. The Duke of Lumbridge sent me over here a while ago. And now we're gonna get the research package. Not gonna be as long in between these steps as the previous one was. But instead of bringing this to Arbery, we're going to the Grand Exchange instead. I think I might have forgotten to bank holder the portrait. Well, we'll check. I think I did, though. I said I was going to, then I got distracted. I don't think we can get that back. Nope. Well, I can try. But first, I'm going to need to purchase a few things here at the Grand Exchange. Starting with S, I'm going to get myself a small fishing net. Useful for a variety of things. I don't have money. That would help. Purchase small fishing net. Fancy. One of the things this is probably going to be used for is going to be Hunter. Eventually. Still don't have that all worked out, but it's a work in progress. And luckily we get to start with level 9, so we can make a few more decisions of where we want to start with our Hunter training. But salamanders of some description at some point, very likely. This one item might be less of a training method, really, but it'll be good to have for all the different things that it does. Starting with T, we're getting teak planks. We are working our way through all the different planks, I guess, so we can eventually build anything we want to in construction. So, things made of teak, now a possibility. Starting with the letter U, used in a quest, we are getting the Unfired Bowl for Dragon Slayer. We're slowly making our way towards having the quest points required. $23 out of 32. So this will be used eventually. To go with our previous item we unlocked for V, we're going to get a vial. That is not the right word. A vial of air, I guess. Just an empty vial. Needed for a variety of things. We need to put stuff in vials. Now, technically, I guess we could take these vials, and we could put water in them, and lose a whole bunch of money in the process. Alternatively, we could buy vials of water and empty them. So, sure, whatever. And lastly here, at the Grand Exchange, part of the potential solution for future woodcutting and fletching training it is willow logs. They're definitely cheaper than oak logs, so that's a plus. I see oak logs here. 48 each. Willow, 16. Guess that's just what you get when you can't be turned into planks. T-U-V-W. And I might as well go see if I can get the portrait back. I feel like that's probably unlikely, but if I can get that in my bank placeholder here, that'd be good. Not that it really matters, but it's the thought that counts here. And you see I got my Xerix Talisman out, because we are heading back there for what very well might be the last X item. And it's going to be very complicated. Unless I do... Well, I'm just going to make it easy on myself. Well, make it difficult on myself and easy on myself. Hey, we get the portrait back. Infinite portraits activated. Alright. And we can't actually go there, so we need to go to the lookout. And run over there. We're going to raids again on our level 78 because we make things difficult for ourselves here. Here we go again. Now this was probably, well, definitely our fastest time yet dealing with raids. We've got the Buchu. We've got the dark juice stuff. But what we don't have is an account with between 52 and 65 herblore. Well, 52 and 64, I suppose. Or at least, that would have been the case before today. Introducing the second new account that I've made for this series and given membership to. Crafted to perfection. It is bad at herblore. An absolute champion, rocking 52 herblore and literally no other stats. Need to just trade over the Buchu, the gourd, we got the juice. Let's mix this up. Clean the herb. And there it is. What is very likely one of the least common potions to come across. Because you need to get yourself an account here in raids, making your potions for you with between 52 and 64 herblore. Now, who would seriously come down here to make Xerix Aid minus. Who would do that? What a silly thing to do. What an absurd idea. It is delicious. The novelty is perhaps more delicious than any other Xerix aids. And with that, that is all of the Xerix aids potions traded to this account. So that means those are all unlocked, whether or not we ever come back to raids. But that means we're done here. Unfortunately, yet again, we can't put that in the bank. So we're unfortunately missing Q and X. But that does mean there's only 2 left. Wrapping things up here for this round, we're getting another item useful for a skill we haven't even unlocked yet. Yanillion hops. With a solid value of 1,000 coins. Once we unlock farming, we'll be able to grow Yanillion hops for a tidy profit. Also, not many things start with Y, so that's okay. And continuing on our current trajectory of Zamorak items, we're getting Zamorak page 3. Pop that right in here, and there you have it. 24 items, missing X and Q. But that's another round complete. We completed two quests, something like that. Started a new quest, unlocked an entire new city. Fletching became viable and continues to get better with willow logs and maple logs coming into the picture. We made a step towards Dragon Slayer, a better mining method, all sorts of good stuff. Current skill total is 893, and with things that we've unlocked, we could get quite a few more levels here very easily. There's nothing really stopping us from doing fishing and cooking to any level required. Mining iron with our, albeit a little bit underleveled, adamant pickaxe still would be very viable. Could train our range at some point. Fire making's no longer a problem. We got maple logs. That's super easy. Not that it was bad with oak, but still, maple's way better. Construction we could train with oak planks, and then teak planks even, if we were so inclined. We are working our way through the skills here. We still need to unlock smithing, but we are getting very close through Knight's Sword. Crafting is coming along in a while. Both of those are locked in the B dimension, where all the different things in the game start with B. Slayer is still locked, because we don't have a light source. And Hunter, kind of locked in the R dimension, with raw items, depending on what method we go for. And then farming. We still have only the bare minimum of farming tools, being a spade. Plenty of stuff still to work on here. So if we deposit everything in our bank... Oh, there's another thing. We got full ham. Well, that's done. So now we can start exploring new and exciting things that start with the letter H. Who knows what we'll come up with. Yeah, total bank value, 3.6 million. And the marks of grace are more than half of our bank still. We get graceful at some point. That'd be helpful. We will see what the future holds for us. Next time. Goodbye.